Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you guys how to make a copycat version of the famous Magnolia Bakery Banana Pudding. When I first found the recipe to this, I was like, there's no way this is gonna taste good. It wasn't made from scratch, so I'm so used to making desserts from scratch, I thought it wouldn't taste good. But I have to warn you, this will be one of your favorite desserts after you start making it, and it will be requested constantly when you're going to get-togethers because it makes such a big batch and it's such an easy thing to make ahead of time, and it's always a huge hit. The texture is so light and fluffy. I have been told that my version is actually a little bit better than the Magnolia Bakery version. That's because I think I make the custard part a little fluffier and not as dense. But really what this recipe consists of is an instant vanilla pudding, some condensed milk, some whipping cream, some vanilla wafers, and bananas. And really that's it. It's so easy. It's hard to believe that this comes together to make such a delicious dessert. So I'm gonna walk you guys through every step and show you exactly what you need.
Like I mentioned earlier, all you're going to need for this recipe is some instant vanilla pudding. Just make sure you're using the instant pudding and not the type that you need to cook over a stovetop. I'm using the Jello brand, but you can also use any brand that's available at your local store. You'll also need some condensed milk and these little vanilla wafers. The brand I usually buy is Nilla, but they don't seem to be available in my area the last little bit. So I found a close alternative at Bulk Barn, and they're actually gluten-free, which might work out better for some people. You'll also need some whipping cream and bananas. The first step is to start making the pudding base for the custard. In a large bowl, start by combining 2 cans of the condensed milk along with a cup and a half of cold water. Stir really well until the condensed milk has been fully diluted into the water. And then you can add the contents of the 2 boxes of the vanilla pudding mix. I'm using the larger boxes. They're about 153 grams. Whisk for a couple minutes until the pudding mix is completely dissolved and there are no more lumps. At this point, you can put this large bowl into the fridge until it's fully set. And if you're tight on time, you can make this step well ahead of time. I usually make it the night before and then it's ready to go the next day when I'm ready to assemble the banana pudding. The next step is to whip up 4 cups of whipping cream. Make sure it says whipping cream on the box and not just heavy cream, as it won't whip up as stiff otherwise. I always start by whipping the cream on low setting in the beginning so it doesn't splatter everywhere, and then when it starts to thicken up a little bit, I will increase the speed to high. After a few minutes, your whipped cream will be ready, and you're looking for a stiff whipped cream, so not just like a soft whipped cream. You'll see the difference when you remove the whip from the bowl. You can see that the whipped cream can stand on its own and it doesn't fall off. You now want to fold the whipped cream into the vanilla pudding mix, and I recommend doing this in about 2 to 3 stages so you don't lose a lot of the volume that comes from the whipped cream. So you can see how much the pudding has set in the fridge overnight. So I'll incorporate a little bit of the whipped cream, fold it in, and then when I see it's almost completely incorporated, I will add some more. This makes for the most dreamy, cloud-like cream you've ever had. Quite honestly, I could eat that whole bowl probably in one sitting. Slice about 3 to 4 bananas so you have them ready to go when it's time to assemble the layers. And I like to use ripe bananas, but not overly ripe ones, so you don't want them to be overly brown or just like mushy. The ones that have just turned yellow are perfect for this dessert. You can then grab a large bowl or a trifle bowl and start assembling the layers. The bowl I'm using here, it can be a cake stand or a trifle bowl if you flip it over. Layer number 1 consists of the whipped cream mixture. So place about 1/3 of the whipped cream mixture at the base of the bowl and level it out. Layer number 2 is the vanilla wafers. So you want to make one layer of the vanilla wafers on top of the cream, and I like to start on the outer edge and work myself towards the center of the bowl. Layer number 3 is the sliced bananas, and I like to space them out a little bit so the pudding doesn't have an overwhelming amount of bananas in it, and then the flavor isn't overpowering. It's just a subtle banana flavor. And just like the wafers, I like to start from the outside and work towards the center of the bowl, and essentially you're going to repeat this one more time. So you're going to want to add another third of the whipped cream, and then after that add a layer of vanilla wafers, add a layer of the sliced bananas, and then top it off with the last bit of whipped cream. Make sure you go all the way to the edge of the bowl. That way no oxygen is getting to the bananas and they won't turn black as they oxidize. I love seeing the different layers of the wafers and the bananas and the cream come together. And if you want to make it a little prettier, you can also crush some of these vanilla wafers and add them on top and cover it with some saran wrap and keep in the fridge. This will keep in the fridge for at least a week and still taste amazing. I really hope you guys give this banana pudding a try, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. I post a new video on homemaking tips, cleaning motivation, and delicious recipes the whole family will love, and I'll see you guys next week.